Hi everybody, Jessie here again with the Concerned Kids, and today we are going to be doing the last in our three-part series about loving yourself. So today we are going to make some affirmation magnets. An affirmation is a saying that you can use to positively remind yourself that you are great. So we'll start with making the actual things that are going to go on the magnets. So I made a couple examples of different shapes, and I even wrote my own little affirmations in there just to show you as an example. So my first one is a heart shape, and it says, I am loved. My second one is a star shape, and it says, I am a star. And my last one is a circle shape, and it says, I love myself. And these are little affirmations so that I can remind myself of those things for when I forget. So let's go ahead and get started making them. So you should have a piece of clay, and what we're going to do to make a few affirmations is we're just going to tear off pieces of that clay. So you only need a small little chunk for each one, for each magnet. And what I like to do is I like to roll it in a little ball before I get started with smushing it and shaping it. So you can make your ball, and then once you have it, you just smush it with your hands, and then you can make a shape with it. Now there are two ways that you can make a shape. The first way, which is the way that I'm going to show you, is by pinching it and molding it with your fingers. But if that's a little bit troublesome, then something else you can do is lay this flat on a table, and you can take your toothpick and you can carve with it. So you could use your toothpick to carve out chunks, and you can make a shape that way. But like I said, I'm going to show you how to mold it. So the first shape that we'll do is a heart. So remember, we roll it up, roll it up, roll it up, and then we go smush, and we smush it into a pancake. So once I have my little pancake, to make my heart, I'm just going to pinch the bottom of it, because the bottom of a heart is pointy. So I'm just pinching my clay so that now I have like a pointy shape on the bottom. Now it actually kind of looks like an ice cream cone, which I suppose is a shape that you can use if you decide that you want an affirmation magnet that looks like an ice cream cone instead. So then for my heart, because there's a little dip in the middle, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold it at the sides and press my fingers into the middle. So I'm making that middle dip that way. And I'm going to keep tugging and pulling and pressing until I wind up with a shape that, it kind of looks like a heart already. And then all you need to do is just kind of go around and keep pinching and pulling and pressing until it looks the exact way that you want it to look. Now, as you're working the clay, sometimes it can get a little dry. So if you wind up with a bunch of crackles like this because it's starting to get a little dry, all you need to do is just get a little bit of water on your finger and you can rub it. And adding a little bit of water is going to make the clay not dry anymore, and it'll remove those crackles. Okay, so that is my heart shape. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my magnet and I'm going to press it into the back of the heart. So I'm just going to squish it into the back of the heart. If you want to be extra, extra, extra super safe, you can also put a dot of glue on the back of the magnet before you press it into the heart. But yeah, it's the back of the magnet here. But pressing it firmly in is going to help it stay in place. Right? So there is one of my affirmation magnets. I haven't written the affirmation yet. I'll do that later. So I'm going to set this aside. And now I'll show you how to make a star. So I'm going to take my clay, pinch off another piece. And just like before, I am going to roll it up in a ball. And then I'm going to squish it and make it like a pancake, a flat little pancake. And then this time, because stars have 5 points, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around my circle and I'm going to pinch my circle into 5 corners like that. So here's number 1. I pinched it. I'm going to pinch. And here is number 2. And then I pinch for number 3. Almost there. It kind of looks like a star already. Then I go to pinch for number 4. And then finally I can pinch my clay for number 5. So I pinched all of these points. Now if you have it where some points are a little smaller than other points, that's very normal. All you have to do is just keep on squishing and pinching and molding your clay until it looks the way you want it to. And remember, every shape can be different. Every star is different. So if your star looks a little bit different than mine, that is so okay. You could make a whole bunch of stars and you could make them all different because then they're all unique in their own special way. So I'm going to push the magnet into the back of the star. I'm going to set it aside, and now my last shape, which is the easiest shape because we've already done it twice before, is just my circle. So I'm going to roll my ball into a sphere, and then I'm going to go squish so that I have that pancake. And the pancake is just the shape that I'm going to use. So now I have my circle. So I will press my magnet into the back of the circle. And now I have my 3 shapes for my affirmations. So you don't have to do those 3 shapes. You could do different shapes if you'd like. If you remember when we were doing the heart, it kind of looked like an ice cream cone at the start. So you could absolutely make one of those. You could make a shape that is the first letter of your name or somebody else's name. You could make an affirmation magnet that's shaped like your favorite animal. There are so many different shapes that you can do. So those were the 3 that I chose, but you can choose whichever you'd like. And then when you are done, go ahead and set them on a table so you have them flat down. And take a toothpick, and this is what we're going to use to write our affirmations. So all I did was I held my affirmation magnet just flat on the table, and I used that toothpick to carve in my letters. So I am... going to be backwards for you guys because of the way my camera is flipped. I am a star. And now I can remind myself every time I see this that I am a star. Okay? So use your toothpick to carve in your affirmations in each of these shapes. So you can go ahead and do any affirmations you like. If you liked mine, you can absolutely use them. You could look up affirmations online, or just think to yourself, what's something that is a really nice compliment that I don't tell myself enough? Think about the things that people who love you say to you. Do they tell you that you have a wonderful smile? Do they tell you that you're super, super smart? Do they tell you that you're amazing? These are all things you could write down so that you can remind yourself these affirmations every time you see that magnet. All right, so I hope you all have fun creating these, and I hope that you just remember that you are a star, you are loved, and of course, remember to love yourself. Okay, thanks everybody. I'll see you next time. Bye.